This lecture on quality management is about what do successful companies really do. My name is Lars Sörqvist. Of course, many different things could be pointed out as important, and in this course, in different areas we are talking on different things. But I would like to point out four things that are of major importance that we really could see in the bottom of the quality initiatives in all successful organizations. The first one is leadership. It's a question of management and the leaders of the organization that really focus on quality. The second has to do with competence and training to build knowledge in the entire organization to work with improvements and quality. The third one is market orientation, to focus on what's going on outside the organization, on the customers and other important things, and bring this knowledge into the operations of the company that is secure that we really do the right things. And finally, it has to do with improvements, that we have a culture, an infrastructure and the management in the company that all the time improve and improve in the right way, of course. I will cover those briefly, one after each. First of all, leadership. And what is leadership? Yes, leadership is probably explained in many different ways in different books and so on. But there are some common things. The first one is to align employees and people in the organization, to point out what's important and to get people to struggle in the right direction, to get all the forces in the organization directed towards what's important. So one important factor in management, in leadership, is to get people to see the goals. Then leadership has a lot to do with organizing and coordinating things. To create an organization that has a possibility to do all the moves that is necessary to reach those goals. Controlling and leading, of course, to see what's going on, to take decisions and so on. Developing personal and creative culture is another important thing for leaders in an organization. And continuously developing and improving the business. Continuous improvement work is a very central part of management and leadership. And finally, following up to see that things goes in the right direction and take action if not. Looking in successful organizations that have reached far and that is focused on improvements and quality and so on, we almost see leaders that are in front of these things, leaders that almost have become icons in those areas. On this picture you can see some famous leaders, for instance Ingvar Kamprad that founded and is the head had been for many years the head of IKEA, and a person that all the time had been focused on customers and improvement. You see Leif Östling, the head of Scania. You see Jack Welch, the former head of General Electrics. Mr. Toyoda, son of the founder of Toyota company that have led the company for years. And Tom Johnston, the former president of SKF. All those person have in common that they have been focused strongly in improvement and succeeded to develop their companies with improvement based quality work. The probably most important thing for a leader and for a successful top management in an organization is explained by the walk of talk way of thinking. The understanding that people do not do what managers are saying, they do what managers by themselves are doing. So what we could absorb in those companies that have succeeded is managers, leaders that are really personally committed and taking part in this work. And I think that is the key to success. Second, training and competence. Knowledge is important. And as I mentioned earlier in those lectures, the background in theory and knowledge in quality is weaker than in many other professions, because we don't have a traditional education background in this subject area. If you compare, for instance, with financial managers or IT managers or HR managers and so on, where we in any university could find training programs that are specifically given for these roles. So people in quality, in the quality business, has to learn a lot by themselves and so on. It's a question of getting the right competence, to get knowledge of different methods and tools that are needed in the quality work, but also to develop understanding and attitudes in these areas. Important when doing training is start in the top, often with top management, because if we don't have top management understanding, knowledge and support, it will be very difficult to succeed. To continue further down in the organization, to work with the key personnel managers lower down in the organization, to develop specialists in these areas like quality managers, improvement specialists, black belts, lean leaders, whatever it is. And then some kind of broadly based training for everyone, because quality, of course, in the end is something that affects everyone in the organization. Today there are many different competence levels available, like Six Sigma and Lean, that is also connected to formal training processes, where you could, for instance, be trained to become a master black belt, a green belt, a lean leader, and so on. And there are especially in US conventions about what should be learned and so on. Market orientation. Of course, the basis of this is to focus on the customers. To understand what's important for the customer. We have been talking a lot about this earlier in the course. But it's not just the customer. When we talked about quality, we talked dependent on what competitors are doing. So of course, to monitor competitors are another important things. And other trends externally. And to bring this into the company, into the quality work, into the project planning work and so on. And finally, improvement work. And as I pointed out earlier in the course, there are different areas that are of big importance here. That we get management commitment and support in the improvement work. So we start to manage improvement work and make it to a natural part of leadership and strategical work in the organization. That they organize for improvement, that we create the infrastructure with clear roles, responsibilities, and connect this to competence too. That makes it necessary also to perform different kind of training program about improvement methodology and tools and so on. That we implement problem-solving methods, that we have a common process for dealing with those things. And then, of course, that we continuously really implement different improvements all around when we do the problem-solving work. This is what I wanted to tell you about in this area, the general area. What do successful companies do? It's a journey for any company, but it pays. Thank you for today.